All right. Hello. I am finally back for a video after 2 weeks, and luckily I am gonna finally do my top 100. Give a quick rundown. Probably gonna say like one or two sentences for each movie. Keep it real quick because we got 100 to go through. But yeah. I thought I'd do this before I get into any more lists, just to get you more familiar with all basically how I feel about film, my opinions and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and get started. So number 100, you got three billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri. That was one of the earlier films I watched when I got into film. It's good stuff. 99, Schindler's List. Not as high for me as it is for other people, but I thought it was great. Very emotional stuff. Liked it a lot. 98, a more recent watch, Seven Samurai. A big pioneer. Very entertaining watch. 97, Phantom Thread. Great movie. I liked... romance is the best genre. This is kind of feeds more into that. Great PTA. Silence, Scorsese, good stuff. One of the few films about religion that I really enjoyed. Not saying I've seen a lot, but yeah. 95, First Reformed. In my review, I say it's like Taxi Driver mixed with like, what I say, Manchester by the Sea. It's just a really good combination of what I like. 94, Shining, good horror classic, can't go wrong with that. 93, Forrest Gump. Now we're starting with a 4.5. And again, the end goal is to have the top 100 be all 4.5s and 5s. Forrest Gump, it's a classic, but some people have been saying it's overrated. I mean, no. The Game bumped it up. It was a 4.5, then it was a 4, now it's a 4.5 again. I just love the twist. I didn't see it coming. It was great stuff. 91, Flashpoint Paradox. Amazing superhero movie, amazing movie in general. 90, The Pianist. Just the everything that it talks about and the way it does it is just amazing. Stalker moved it up to a 4.5 recently. I think my first Tarkovsky, Andrei Tarkovsky, good stuff. Boys in the Hood. Really familiar conversations had in that movie that really I enjoyed. 87, A Ghost Story. I thought it kind of just it's very representative, and I like that a lot. And 86, if Beale Street Could Talk. I think that it's a big part of the black community and something that should be watched by a lot of people. And then Scent of Woman, great acting, very emotional, good stuff, very entertaining. And then Gangs of New York. I liked this more than other people. I was able to lock in pretty easily. I didn't think it was too long, like other people said. I just really enjoyed all parts of it. And then 83, The Favorite. I watched this actually in an airport terminal, and it was great. It was just a good movie. Vertigo, my first Hitchcock on this list. Great stuff. And Before Midnight, weakest of the trilogy, but obviously still 4.5. Great stuff, good time, great performance from Pattinson. I like this a lot. One of my earlier watches. That might be why it's so high, but whatever. Titanic, another early watch, but it's Titanic. Gotta give it at least a 4.5. And then Perks of Being a Wallflower. This one I brought up to a 4.5 probably a few months ago, and mostly because the first time I watched it, I kind of had the ending was just great. Little Fish, another reason why romance is the best genre. When done right, it is perfect. The Abyss ending was great. It was it's kind of like those 80s, 70s movies just done to a T. Magnolia, PTA's best, in my opinion. Very emotional, great dialogue. Bullet Train, unexpectedly good. It was such a fun watch. 73, Fight Club. Enough said. Big Time Adolescence, probably always going to stay in my top 100. It's one of the few comedy like teen movies that I really like a lot. Harry Potter, the almost like it's a really good ending to such a probably the best complete film franchise. And then on the count of three, I think just the themes it attacks is really, really great. And then Crazy Stupid Love, just awesome. Eighth grade, good A24. Bo Burnham's only good project so far. Really, really cringe, but really good. Zack Snyder's Justice League. This is now back in my top 100, and there's just so much aura, honestly. And Cries and Whispers. I'm not going to look at all the reviews that I've written for all these movies, but I'm just going to talk about it really quick. It was very touching. Yeah, I'm going to keep it quick. But Blue Valentine, again, another near perfect romance. I think a romance is done well. For me, if it like kind of like does what you wouldn't expect, or it does something that like really cuts deep, aka no happy ending or unexpected ending. Clockwork Orange. I mean, this is just some great stuff. Dune, Frank Herbert's a genius. Midsummer, great acting, great atmosphere as well. The set piece was awesome. A Beautiful Mind, this was great. The twist I thought was amazing, and even the second half, when it turned more to a biopic, that was still good stuff. King of Comedy, very similar to Joker, and that's one of the reasons it's ranked so high. And then you got Love Lies Bleeding. I don't even know why I like this so much, but there's just something about it. Portrait of a Lady on Fire, got that here. This was the first foreign film in my top 100 ever, so it holds a special spot, and it is amazing. Pursuit of Happiness, one of the best biopics, and recently I've been refusing to watch biopics because they're so overdone, but this one is an example of what they should look like. Hacksaw Ridge, another example of great biopic, and great war movie. Even though I'm not super into war films, this is great. Primal Fear, I mean, I like the going into this Ed Norton's psyche and the twist ending, great stuff. The Way Back, just such a perfect comfort film. I love it. And then we got Before Sunset, a great follow-up to the original Before Sunrise. Oppenheimer, I mean, it's a biopic, but it's the least stereotypical biopic ever made. Jaws, amazing, great atmosphere, actually quite scary. The Whale, perfect acting. Sadie Sink was amazing. Brendan Fraser was great. Little Women, and we got Timmy and Saoirse Ronan again together, so can't really go wrong. Training Day, great stuff. I liked the ending a lot. And you got Ethan Hawke doing his thing. He was great. And you got Denzel as well. So, and another Denzel right here, right above it. American Gangster, good stuff. I like them more than most people, but it is what it is. And then Goodfellas, great mob movie, amazing stuff. War Dogs. This is one of the I watched this before I even really got into film, but with that being said, it is so entertaining. It's so good. It reminds me a lot of Wolf of Wall Street in a lot of ways. The Prestige, Nolan's film. I actually gave this a rewatch because the first time I saw it was in school. Really great stuff. And Dial M for Murder, I was locked in the whole time. This is one of the reasons Hitchcock is the GOAT. So, yeah. Blade Runner. I enjoyed it way more on a second watch. And even after watching the first one, the original, it just got better. Synecdoche, New York. Good stuff, but this is the movie that you just kind of roll with. You don't ask questions. You just things happen. You just say, okay, I'm gonna roll with it, and I like that about this movie. Psycho, I mean, such a good horror movie. It's a pioneer. Rope, Hitchcock's. This is top tier Hitchcock right here. These two. So I mean, I like the if a bottle film is done well, then I like it. So Rope is an example of that. Eternal Sunshine, another great romance, sci-fi, good stuff, very symbolic. Black Swan, great stuff. Darren Aronofsky. I think this is my number. Yeah, this is my number one Aronofsky movie. Natalie Portman does a great job. And I believe this is my first animated on this list. Across the Spider-Verse. I mean, it is just so fun and so epic, and it does it so well. Even if I rewatch it, it wouldn't drop a whole lot. It would probably stay at a 4.5. And then Guardians 3, it's the best movie of the MCU, without a doubt. And the Batman. See, we got 3 superhero movies in a row, because, like, it's hard to really... The superhero movies tend to sometimes feel the same if they're done in a... well, these are all 4.5, so they can only be so far apart, I feel like. But, the Batman, the best... I believe this is my top superhero movie of all time. It was great. Gone Girl. This is also another movie that I watched when I first got into film. Fincher was my favorite director for a while. Yeah. Truman Show. I mean, if you've seen it, you know why it's so good. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Had to hold back some tears. It was great stuff. Very emotional. Us. Underrated. However, I did watch it when I first got into film. Maybe that's why it's 5, but it's not as high as the other 5s. It's the lowest 5. So I mean, but for me, it probably would still be Peele's best after a rewatch. Wolf of Wall Street. I mean, this is Scorsese's best in my opinion. It is such a wild ride. It is very entertaining. And then you got Nightcrawler, great character study, great acting from Jake Gyllenhaal. I gave this a rewatch and it was still a 5, so I mean, it's good stuff. Sound of Metal, amazing, very unique way of telling a story. And same thing with Memento, with the time jumps and the reversing and Nolan's just... I talked about this in my last video, so I'm not gonna talk about it anymore. But yeah, good stuff. Jojo Rabbit. Good, another early watch when I first got into film. Great satire. After seeing, I recommended it to a friend, and he gave it a 4.5. So I'm very confident in my 5-star rating. I don't think that there's any like bias for it being an earlier watch, and I'd probably say the same thing for Zodiac. Also a 7, just because Fincher's just so good. So number 22, Prisoners. Denise, second best, I think. Yeah, second best. This was actually my number 1 film for a while, then it was in my top 4 for a while, and now after watching more, it finally dropped. So did Shawshank, but it's Shawshank. And my highest rated animated movie, Anomalisa. First watch, I gave it a 4.5, but considering the fact that I kept thinking about it like 8 months after I'd seen it, I had to give it a 5 and put it in my top 20. And then you got Nickel Boys. This was an amazing, very uniquely shot story. For me, me and my friends, we were watching movies together in our friend group, and this was the first time that I saw 5 out of 5 for the first on my first watch, because I'd seen 5 out of 5s, but it was a rewatch. This is my first time seeing it with them, so that was a pretty cool experience. All of Us Strangers, just so emotional. It was the storytelling was amazing, and same with Perfect Days. When I think about Perfect Days, like, it's not even a movie that you'd think would make someone emotional, like tear up, but it just, for some reason, it really gets to me. And then Blade Runner. I mean, for me, it's everything in 2049, but just like deeper and just, I don't know, it just does it better. And 15, we got Whiplash. 3 out of 4 of Chazelle's movies are in my top 15, so that's why he's my favorite director, but I put Hitchcock at number 2. And then we got Shutter Island. Okay, so this is my number 1 Scorsese, not not Wolf of Wall Street. But yeah, Shutter Island, great, amazing twist. Didn't see it coming on first watch. That was crazy. Arrival, it's not even a standard like twist like Shutter Island does. That's kind of why it's ranked above. Manchester by the Sea. I mean, I love this movie so much, and that's saying a lot. Because when I first saw this movie, I gave it a 3 out of 5, and now it's in my top 12. So I mean, I love that movie. The Elephant Man, another tearjerker, just amazing. This is David Fincher's best by a very long shot. Like, it's not even close for me whatsoever. Inception. Who directed Inception? Oh, Nolan. Yeah, this is Nolan's best. Then you got Joker. It's always gonna be a top film, no matter it gets hate every year more and more, but it's always gonna be up there for me. I don't care. The Green Mile is, for a while it was underneath Shawshank, but like I had to. This movie actually made me like tear. I kept having to pause it and look away to not just be crying. But Nocturnal Animals, so underrated. I will say Jake Gyllenhaal's acting, sometimes you're watching it and you're like, all right, bro, you're kind of doing a bit much. But besides that little thing, it's like near perfect. It's so good. And American History X. We've had Edward Norton on this list a few times. He's a great actor, a top tier. But yeah, you have that at number 6. And then now we get to the top 5, which La La Land used to be. So I'm gonna preface my top 4. La La Land used to be in my top 4. Now it's number 5. It's gonna bounce around in this little area probably, or maybe actually, it's probably not gonna move for a while. But yeah, and then number 4. Now we're starting with my top 4. So Before Sunrise. This, I mean, it's like. I talked about it before. I'm not going to say much about it, but it's just perfect. Babylon, perfect. Underrated. I can't believe it flopped to the box office. That really makes me upset, but people who know film, they know how good it is. And then you got Dune Part 2, which is the biggest movie in recent time that has been like glazed by like casuals and film bros and like film connoisseurs, because it's the greatest thing to touch the screen in years. Like it's insane. And then if you know me, you know my number 1, but I'm gonna zoom in so you can see, and then boom, her, the greatest movie of all time, at least in my opinion, is her. I mean, I cannot explain how much I love this movie. It changed me, but I will say there are a few movies on here that literally altered my brain chemistry. Like her, yeah, a bit, but that it's my number 1. But something like Before Sunrise, that actually changed me. And like there's a few others on here, but yeah, that's my top 100. Here I'll do this, and so now you can see this is basically me currently as a film bro / film connoisseur. This is my identity. So yeah, thank you for watching. I will see you when I see you.